Welcome back, everybody. It is Anime Talks, and this is your host, Jay Klein, and we're finally back. It's been a little bit, and I do apologize. It's just trying to watch a lot of different things, mainly Naruto, and it's just about time. I did wrap up this one show right here that we're about to get to, and I had to stop it. Sadly, I had to go back and rewatch a couple things to get a little refresher before doing this. But we're here now. We are covering Oshinoko or Oshinoko. I don't want to say which one it is, but it doesn't matter. Oshinoko is going to be what we refer to. But this show definitely takes a different hit, a different charm, and I do like it. It's another one of those reincarnated shows, but a little bit different. And it has a lot of suspense, thriller moments. It's worth it. I'm telling you. I watched season 1, which is what we're covering here, and season 2. I had to put a stop on it. I didn't even realize that I wasn't to season 2. I watched 2 episodes into it, and then I had to pump the brakes because I did not have this one up yet. So I do my best to try to pump the brakes before we get any further and get straight to only pertaining to what I've watched, because I don't like to end up mixing up content and then giving you something that is not being featured. So let's get straight down to it. So in Oshinoko, we do have a very interesting situation where we are met with a doctor who is watching over this young girl eventually, and it's very very interesting. But his name is Gorou Amamiya, and he's a medical doctor that had a patient, and is very interesting. He's very he was a middle-aged man, mid-30s, just interesting. That's the best way to word it. He's like your typical 30-year-old guy, just kind of relax, all that stuff. Well, his patient that he ends up having is Sarina Tendouji, and she is she's a terminally ill little girl that goes through so much, and what Sarina is doing, which is very interesting and very caring and loving of the whole doctor situation, doctor patient scenario, is during most of the things that occurred during their time together. By the way, the first episode is I swear a solid hour. So everything is dropped in the first episode. So most of what we're going to be talking about is in the first episode. So just prefacing that before we get further. Now, Sarina is in love with this pop idol, who's a 16-year-old idol, and is madly in love with her, idolizes her, that's her celebrity crush. She's watching, in awe at how amazing this girl is. And it's pretty interesting. Ai's group is pretty awesome. That I do like. Is pretty cool, but it makes you really, 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 really excited to be involved with the little girl, because she's so amazed, and she's just so I say aspires, but she wants that life, but she knows she's terminally ill and could die at any time. So it's pretty sad. It is pretty sad. It's one of those very grim moments, and you just how do you even handle that? It's a very touching moment. And Gorou ends up getting involved in a very emotional way with Sarina, and ends up liking the idol as well. During all the appointments and everything, and visiting and checking in on his patient, he sees that Sarina's like glued to the TV, watching every little event that's going on, right? And it's pretty nice. It's pretty sweet and a very an amazing sensation that's going on while that's happening, because you're just like it's like a very warm-hearted feeling is the best way to word that. And I really really like that. Really like that. So now let's jump to where things get kind of crazy. We do end up seeing the death of Sarina. Sarina ends up dying shortly after we see the bonding and how Gorou's like all into watching I with Sarina, and then Sarina dies due to her illness, and Gorou ends up living on through that idolization and through that, and he ends up becoming just a fanboy for I Hoshino as well. And it's sweet. It's like he's just living on her dreams of like keeping up with the idol, and he likes the idol too. Now, a very crazy plot twist that does occur is we do run into a 16-year-old girl who's like who comes into his office one day shortly after the death of Sarina, where the adult that's with the 16-year-old ends up telling Gorou, "Hey, I have a new patient for you. She's pregnant, and I need you to watch over her and see that she has her babies healthily." And Gorou's just like, that's crazy. You know, a 16-year-old girl pregnant. What's going on here? Like, there's a lot more going on than meets the eye, other than, you know, just a lot of promiscuity going on. Right. And we end up seeing a very, the interesting plot twist was when Gorou looks at his medical chart to look up more information on the girl, he realizes that the 16-year-old girl that is his new patient is the pop idol that his previous patient idolized. And he takes on like a huge grand stand on being able to be there and stand up for her and make sure, and I say stand for her, but stand by her and make sure she has her babies and babies. I jumped the gun, but she ends up being I say diagnosed, but she ends up being told that she's having twins. So he wants to make sure that she delivers her baby safely and healthy and all that. So he's all excited. He's hyped up. Gorou's like amazed by the fact that what a small world it is for him to idolize this pop idol, and he ends up being the doctor for this idol. So moving forward, they spend, you know, they're like, maybe there's like a time gap that's going on, and there's weird things that do occur leading up to Gorou having the Gorou being able to deliver her children. Well, there's this weird shady figure that's coming around, and he ends up going to go do research. I say research, but investigate on what's going on and around. Well, he ends up chasing this shady figure outside of the around from out the hospital, and next thing you know, Gorou gets killed immediately. This is in the first episode, by the way. Throws you off so bad that we see the MC gets like killed in the first episode. Right now, I'm at a loss at this point. I'm watching and wondering, how is this going to go? Well, he ends up opening his eyes. And, you know, everything's fading away. He's dying. He opens his eyes and he is now reincarnated as one of the twins that the pop idol has. Wild. Just very strange, very, very out there, right? Now, needless to say, um, we end up seeing Gorou being the son of the pop idol, and now his new name is Aqua, and he is now Aquamarine. That's what I named him, which is interesting. And his twin sister is named Ruby. Now, as we see, there's a time elapse where you see the Ruby and Aqua get a little older. They're going through the toddler stage, and there's a lot of different things. They're watching eyes. They're watching their mom's stage performance never stop. You know, she's still a great idol until the dreaded day comes where that shady figure who ends up killing Gorou comes back again and ends up killing Ai at her condo, or at her apartment, her house. And the kids see that their mom is killed, and now they're moving forward. And there's a lot of different things that occur during this time where, you know, Gorou is just very, 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 like, you know, he has the mind of a 30-year-old man. So he's just trying to contemplate what to do and how he's going to go about it, because he's a kid that's trying to seek revenge and find out who killed his mother, right? Or technically, yeah, his mother, and technically his favorite idol that he idolized in his previous life. And then we get another small reveal that is very subtle, but you have to really pay attention to. His twin sister, Ruby, is the reincarnated soul of Sarina, the young girl that was his patient. Now, what is very interesting is Sarina and Gorou never know who each other are from the previous life. They just only know that they're reincarnated people from past lives, but don't know who they were. They don't know who the other was in the past life, which is very, very, very interesting, because had this been shared, and I'm telling you, the first season, you're like waiting for that to be revealed. You're just kind of like sitting on the edge of your seat, just like, when is somebody going to say whatever? But, you know, there's like close, like little grab me calls that are like out there where it's just like, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? And then like, it just doesn't happen. And, you know, it's one of those little things that you're waiting for that reveal to occur. Now, back to it, the kids end up getting older, and during this gap, we are seeing them get older. But when things take a turn for when they reach high school, things take a drastic change. Aqua is a little bit more dark humored, very stern, stoic, and mainly because his previous life, he was a 30-year-old man, so he's more reserved, laid back. Ruby is more charismatic, very outgoing, pretty much following in Ai's footsteps, and pretty much is that. Now, they both have extreme talent, as far as like they adopted so many characteristics and traits from their mother. Even though they are two people from previous lives, they do pick up a lot of things from Ai that was passed down to them. And they both seek out to do interesting things. Like Ruby wants to become an idol just like her mother was. Now, the flip side of that darker situation is Aqua. His goal is to go become something in the entertainment industry, but use all the networking and pull and all of his assets and all of his abilities to find out who really played a huge role in his mother's death. So to really wrap up what's going on in season 1 as a whole is you really have the reincarnation of two of this pop idol's biggest fans now become her children, and now they're living on to one end become like the mom and be able to bring entertainment and joy to a lot of people, and then on the other side an avenger seeking revenge against who killed his mother. So it's a very, very up and down emotional spiral, because there's a lot of other things. There's a lot of slice of life things that are going on there too. We do have Aqua and Ruby both having access to the managers from back when their mom was an idol, and them starting up a new pop group that is a nostalgia rebrand of their mom's group. You have so many different things where they become part of little small pieces. Aqua sees a lot of different things occurring where he goes and becomes part of this little small dating show. And it's just a lot of different things that they're involved in that is very reminiscent of what their mother did. And it's very, I like that the way they do that. It's very not just all there. It's like bit by bit by bit, and then it finally puts the puzzle together. And that is what I do like about the way season 1 is executed as far as Aqua's journey to trying to find out who killed his mother. He is on a very long journey. By the way, the season 1 again executed well. Aqua does go and make a bunch of networking connections with a lot of people in power to get where he needs to be and to try to gain the advantage. Wow, was crazy. He hates acting. He hates anything in the entertainment industry, simply because he's not a people person. But he knows he has to do what he has to do to get to where his end goal is, which is to get redemption, or to get revenge and take out his mother's killer. Now, on Ruby's side, Ruby is again Sarina from the past life. Was a bubbly girl that just was terminally ill. You just have a lot of things going on with Ruby as well that I really do enjoy. That you see throughout the show with her things that are going on is very very light. I do love her edge of things. It's very lighthearted. It's pretty respectful. It's one of those, it makes you want to cry a little bit whenever you see these things happen. As for instance, while she's starting up a new group and she's kind of being the center of everything, there are people that she does recruit along the way by help of Aqua, where they're starting this small little group to pretty much be the rebranded new age version or new generation version of their mom's old group. And she ends up explaining and trying to reinforce and build somebody else up, and they're just knocking themselves down and just discounting themselves. And Ruby ends up telling them like a very heartfelt story of, you just don't know what it's like to not be able to do what you're able to do. You know, if you're not able to do the things you're able to do and be less fortunate and be terminally ill or anything, and she doesn't directly say terminally ill, but she's recollecting on who she once was and has all her memories from when she was terminally ill and not able to do anything. She wasn't able to dance and sing and have any of the range of motion she has in her new life. So she has a different set of humility and understanding of being grateful for what she has. And she instills that in anybody she meets. And I really do like that. I think that's an amazing thing that allows for a lot of growth and allows for a lot of down to earth vibes from this show. And that's what I do appreciate that from the show. Now, I didn't go too far into like side characters and stuff like that, mainly because they don't really apply too much in the next episode. Whenever I do cover season 2, I will drop more information when it comes down to that. But as far as that goes, I can cover like maybe a small bit of characters. Like we do have Kana. Kana is a side character who plays a nice good role. She's part of the new group, the reform group, and she's a child star that kind of like fell off, and she has a very small crush on Aqua, but she's working along with Ruby to establish something pretty interesting. Now, we do have Memcho. Memcho is another girl that was featured in the little dating show with Aqua, but she ends up once that show ends, she is a big streamer who lied about her age. She's like in her mid-20s, but she's been playing it off that she's been 18 or 17 for freaking forever, which is pretty interesting on how she played that off. But she ends up being another person that joins in with Ruby. And as I said, both Kana and Memcho are both extensions of being people who were connected to Aqua during his underground digging to try to do some stuff and some connections he made to be able to, and then he's able to help his sister out by sending them over to help out and start up this group. Now, crazy thing that does happen, of course, throughout this duration. Once that murder did happen of and they got older, Ruby was seeking and putting out stuff. A very interesting dark twist was the very protective older brother, and I say older brother, but you get where I'm coming from with the older brother kind of thing. You do have Aqua that goes out of the way to sabotage and make it to where Ruby could not get the hits that she needed to be able to be great, to be seen. He was doing that to protect her, and he didn't want another death to befall the family. And I do appreciate that a lot. I love that, how it's not good because of course she doesn't know. She never knows that this happens as far as season 1 goes. But Aqua does do that to protect his sister, to make it to where she's not meeting the same fate as their mom did. Now, another little small side character that we do have Akane, who is a girl that has a small little love interest into Aqua. She was another featured person in the dating show that he was in. It's just a lot. It's crazy. There's a lot of stuff that's going on with that. A lot of stuff that's going on with that. And they have a little thing that they're trying to live up. They're trying to because they end up dating in the dating show by the way the show occurred. So they kept it up for appearances and still dated and just make small appearances to make the show have good ratings and keep their popularity going, right? And to kind of finish off the rest of that, we do have it's good to like make a reference to the last kind of sort of important side people. We have Miyako and Ichigo Saito. These two are the married couple that run the agency from back when the mom was still alive, all the way until we did lose Ichigo. Ichigo kind of like had his own thing where he like kind of like disappeared. He had some things going on, but we do have Miyako, the wife that still stayed around. It is very funny, very interesting dynamic with her. She used to dread having to watch the kids while the husband, while Ichigo and I were like performing and like setting up shows, and she was stuck babysitting. And then after the death, Miyako definitely did step up and like wanted to be like a more of a parent figure because she had watched him for so long. And that's exactly what happened. She kind of mentored over them as like a mom figure and kept them going. So that is how this show is like going with all these people. I do like that. It's great. The cast isn't big. Cast is pretty small. I've said this in other shows and or other episodes about different shows. I like a small cast. Small cast means more screen time for a lot of different characters and a lot more character development. And it is all there. All the characters have nice, good development. I love it all. It makes it to where you get a little bit of some people, and then maybe a couple episodes later, some more, and each episode feels like you're digging a little deeper. I think you might have like 2 episodes that are kind of like a little meh, but it's not bad. Every episode you're like, you're going to hit the next button. I won't lie. You will want to, as soon as you get to the outro or the ending theme song, you're going to hit next. You're ready to watch the next one. I'm telling you, I didn't even know I was in season 2 until I looked up and I was like, oh, okay, we're at season 2. I need to pump the brakes. Now, y'all will like a lot of this. I think the only thing that might turn some people away would be the fact that it is more of the bubbly girl-esque anime. Obviously you have Aqua, who's like has this little whole vendetta going on, but in the meantime you still have your typical one guy that's has like a harem of like beautiful girls that's kind of like into him, and it's interesting. It's interesting. It's a very interesting dynamic that's going on. And then you have your typical, if you're not into like the whole reincarnated situations that occur, that's this as well. I feel like it's just handled a little different. We do have a lot of different elements that is occurring that you'll like, that will keep you pumped, because it's not just reincarnated and I have all these like crazy powers. It's more, I'm reincarnated and I still have my memories, but it's all still confusing, and there's just still a lot of things that aren't put together as far as season 1 goes. And from what I understand, there is season 3 is currently airing right now on Crunchyroll. I am currently watching this and season 2 on Hulu because it's dubbed on Hulu. So that's where you can check that out. I don't know why season 3 isn't being aired on Hulu, but that's besides the point. There's a lot this show has to offer. It hits a lot of different areas, and it keeps you pumped. The suspense thriller of wanting to know what's going to happen next. How far is Aqua going to get to his destination? What's going to happen when he gets there? Is he ready to kill who killed his mother? There's just a lot going on. And then Ruby, will she be able to be better than what her mom was? Will her group do well? There's just a lot going on there with the show. And it's so funny that I was more involved with the suspense thriller part But then I came over to the slice of life. Like I'm super excited to see, or waiting to see, how far Ruby gets with her new little group. Like it keeps you everywhere. It doesn't just keeps you like just all in on just like the serious tone part, like the lighter stuff or stuff that's just not as grim. It keeps you in as well, because it's just a good feeling. That's what this anime is. Just like a really good feeling anime that has a lot of stuff to keep you hooked. And again, small cast, world building's great, character development that goes hand in hand with that. It's awesome. If I had to rate it, this is solid. This is solid anime here. I'd have to say, again, we can't name them all. We can't hit them all with tens, right? But this is definitely not subpar. It's definitely not subpar. So as far as season 1 goes, I have to give this a solid 9.5. 9.5. Reason why we can't give it a 10, and the 0.5 deduction comes from the fact that there are, again, every anime has like little filler situations that come about. But I do feel like this anime does not need to have filler. Sadly, this is one of those, like, you need to be hooked. And they have like a couple episodes that kind of just went like straight filler. It felt like filler slice of life. And it's okay. It's okay. But it was like too far out there where you're just like, okay, let's get back. Please, next episode, can we get back to where we once were, what had me in? And they did. But it's just the fact that it happened. And I want to say the episode count for this, like maybe 12, 13 episodes, if I'm correct. And you don't want to have this such ramped up, exciting things that are going on, and then you just get hit with, like, out of left field with like some out of the way BS that has no plot development. And you're just like, wait, I only have like 12 or 13 episodes. We can't sacrifice time for this. But that's my only gripe. That's my only really gripe. My cause for concern for anybody. But I'd have to say, solidly, out of the episodes they have, it's only like maybe 1 or 2 that's like that. That it feels like it might not be too in line with staying linear with the rest of it. But you'll love it. It's great. I can't wait to dive into season 2. Now that this recording has been done, now this has been made, we will be moving forward to that. I try my best to keep everything within what I've seen and not jump too far ahead to mix up content and throw anybody off or throw myself off. So again, thank y'all for tuning in. This is Jay Klein, and this was Anime Talks. Oshinoko, season 1. Check it out. It is worth watching. Just maybe the first episode, with it being an hour and a half, it might be an hour and a half. I think it's way more than 45 minutes. An hour and a half is solid. You don't have to do that 3 episode BS. Watch that first episode. You'll know everything you need to know if you want to keep watching. That, I think that's probably something that keeps it at for 9.5 for me. I didn't have to do the 3 episode thing. I just had to sit through pretty much a short movie, a short film, and watch an hour and a half. And it made up my mind that I was in it for the long haul. So again, give it a glance when you can. It's definitely a main anime. It's something that you want to watch by itself. Trying to juggle this with anything else is probably going to ruin it, because this show has a lot of dopamine moments that keeps pushing, where again you're going to hit the next button so you can be able to check out and see what's happening next. So again, thank y'all so much. I'll catch y'all on the next one.